Okay, guys, this is simply life. Now, for those of you who haven't read my channel description, this channel is focused on a broad spectrum of topics from health and fitness, education and work, even going as far as food and DIYs and arts and crafts and things of that nature. So because there's so many different things to talk about, my channel will be categorized in sections, which brings us to this video, the very first, other than the intro. This is the introduction to the health section. So this is not really going into too much detail. This truly is an introduction. This is kind of like a preview of everything I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, but without further ado, let's get started. So, of course, this is the introduction to health. One thing about me, and this is something that I'm going to be referencing and bringing out throughout this journey, I have hydrocephalus. I have hydrocephalus, cerebral palsy, asthma, among other things. So for those of you who don't know what hydrocephalus is, that is fluid on the brain. It's basically like a cyst or a sac of fluid, which can cause major problems. I suffer from headaches. I have been on so many different medications over the years, which all, of course, have side effects, one of which is weight gain, which brings me to a point that I'll focus on in a minute. So, yeah, I like activities like swimming and things like that. I like going to the gym. I like eating healthy. That's natural for me. However, losing weight is not natural for me. So I will be sharing with you guys my journey to losing weight, which brings me to the next point. Ending and starting the year on a positive note. So not too long ago, I was having trouble with my blood pressure. My cardiologist suggested trying to lose weight. So I set the goal to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. Well, it's been about a month and a half, 2 months since the weigh-in. I weighed 284 at that appointment, and I weigh 269 at this very moment. So it's been about, I'll say 2 months. I've lost 20 pounds, and I'm saying 20 from like my highest weight, which was 289. So that's more, to be honest, that's more weight than I've lost within the past few years. And the way that I've done this so efficiently is following the paleo diet. Now, for those of you who don't know, the paleo diet is, it's kind of like the caveman diet. So basically, you don't eat anything that a cave person wouldn't eat. So no dairy, no carbs, no sugars, no fruits, none of that. It's hard, but it works, which is a plus. And one thing that I've always kind of recognized is that nothing truly is impossible when it comes to losing weight, gaining weight, or just any decision like that for your health. Sometimes it's not about whether it's a realistic goal, because if you're setting a goal with the right intentions, I believe that you will set what you feel is a realistic goal. And so I don't think it's a question on whether the goal is realistic. I think it's a question on whether you are determined to cut out everything that's holding you back and run full force so that you can accomplish that goal in the set time frame that you want. So for me, I exceeded my expectations. I almost doubled them. I think if I lose, 5 more pounds, I'll have doubled my goal in 2 months, which is great. If I can stay at this weight at my 3-month checkup, I will be happy, okay? So that is kind of the gist of my paleo diet. I've cut out the fruits, I've cut out the carbs, the sugars. I've even tried to get rid of gluten. And I didn't realize how much stuff gluten really is in. But throughout this, I've definitely craved some things. For instance, chocolate and cheese. Not so much the bread, but it's funny because the first week or two that I started the diet, I really craved oatmeal, and I don't like oatmeal. And it's funny because as much as I was craving it, like I got a little taste of it one day and I still didn't like it, but my body was just craving it. It was craving those sugars that it knew that I shouldn't have. So I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I've cheated. I've ate some things that I knew I shouldn't have, but I believe that it's all in moderation. I'm not splurging. I'm not going all out. It's usually just one or two things, and we don't eat out as much as we do, and when we do, I try to get salads, but every once in a while, once a month, I'll have a little bit of dessert, something to treat myself. But the point is that I'm not going all out and I'm not eating a bunch of stuff that I know I'm not supposed to. It's always one little thing, or sometimes two little things, depending on what those things are. So like if I have fruit, I might have a little bit of dessert with it. But throughout this 2-month journey and the past couple years, really, I've been picking up on little tips to help move things along at a faster pace, to help kind of curb those cravings. So throughout this channel, I'm going to be focusing on, of course, health, and that leads into fitness, that leads into food. And so I'm going to be sharing with you some health tips that I've learned, some recipes, some food alternatives. And when I say food alternatives, I mean things like stevia, things like carrot powder, which is a great alternative to chocolate. Things like vegan, I just found out about this, vegan Parmesan cheese, which is non-dairy, and I've been wanting to try it. I haven't gotten a chance to make the recipe that I originally saw. I have made a version of it though, and I gotta admit, it was pretty good. Okay, but there's, little tips and little tricks that you can curb those cravings. So I'm going to be sharing things like that with you, things like kefir, which I believe I have a picture. Yes. So as you can see, the top left corner and the bottom right corner are 2 plates of food that I have made. So it's funny because the top left picture is a picture of a dish that I made after I started the paleo diet, right? Now the other picture is one that I did before. Both are in kind of retrospect sort of healthier than some other dishes. However, there are a few noticeable things, such as fruit. The bottom right has grapes. Of course, I can't have fruit. I can't have the tortilla, which I believe that was pita bread tortilla that I had under that, which it was mainly just a little, like 2 slices of bacon, and vegetables that were soaked in vinegar, which I'm trying to stay away from the vinegar as well. So that's kind of like a before and after of pre-paleo and post. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys my food journey. In the middle, smack dab in the middle, that is kefir. Those are kefir smoothies. With me not doing fruit like I used to, the only fruit that I really eat are berries. So like blackberries, raspberries, things like that. I'm not sure if they just don't have as much sugar or not, but I know that they have plenty of antioxidants. But those are like the one fruit that they always say, if you're going to eat fruit, eat those. So I still eat fruit. I'm going to share with you guys a recipe for some kefir popsicles, homemade, very, very good. The left bottom corner is, I believe that's water kefir. I don't think it's milk kefir. I'm pretty sure it's water kefir. There is a milk and water kefir. One lives in milk, one lives in water. And when I say live, I know that kind of freaks some people out. But I will go into a more descriptive explanation in the next video, or the one after that. I haven't decided yet. But in the top right hand corner, I think all of you know what that is. That is the food pyramid, of course. So I find it completely ironic. The food pyramid, if people lived off of that, they would be so messed up, because the largest food group on the pyramid is the one that we shouldn't be eating. And dairy. Dairy is another thing that, a lot of people don't realize. It's not a necessity. So I will be touching on that in a later video. I probably will touch on it in the same video I do with the kefir. Now that I'm saying that, I probably will do it the next video. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little bit of everything. This is kind of just a gist of some of the things that I will be focusing on within the health section. Of course, there are many other things that I will be talking about. I'll be talking about chlorophyll, which is great for menstrual cycles, and a little bit of everything, really. I'll be talking about Silva, which is a natural solution, great for when like you're starting to catch a cold. It helps break that. So yeah, we'll be focusing on a little bit of everything. So before I end this video, I just want to point out, if you like the video, please hit that like button. Also, if you want to see more content from my channel, please hit the subscribe button. That, to be honest, is an extreme motivation for me to keep this going on a regular basis, and it's pretty inspirational to me as well. So thank you guys for listening. I will be back. This has been Simply Life.